Society seems to think that because I am 103 years old, I should be incredibly grateful for any tiny handout. They expect me to roll out a cheap, free yoga mat at the local community center. They think I should happily accept shiny little plastic gifts from massive insurance companies. That is absolute, utter garbage. Just last week, a very smooth-talking salesman called my telephone. He tried to buy my total medical freedom with a glossy, brightly colored brochure. He promised me a completely free gym membership and $0 monthly premiums. He spoke to me like I was a clueless child winning a prize. I did not even let him finish his sales pitch. I told him my independence is not for sale. And I threw that brochure straight into the garbage can. Hello there, sugar. Welcome back to my quiet little kingdom. I am Mabel. I am exactly 103 years old today, and I live entirely alone by my own fierce, uncompromising choices. People are constantly asking me how I have survived this long with my brain sparkle completely intact. They expect a recipe for green juice. Well, the real secret to longevity is recognizing a trap when you see one. Right now, millions of older Americans are falling into a massive, highly deceptive administrative cage. They call it the Medicare Advantage program. These private insurance companies use aggressive marketing tricks to target women of our vintage. They dangle free dental cleanings and complimentary rides to the doctor right in front of our faces. They desperately want us to bite the shiny bait. But you cannot have a happy ending to a miserable journey, darling. And getting trapped in a narrow medical network when you actually get sick is a deeply miserable journey. Today, I am pulling back the curtain on this terrible free perk illusion. I am going to share my iron-clad rules for protecting your medical choices. We are going to defend your thermostat sovereignty against the insurance bureaucrats. Grab a hot cup of tea, make yourself very comfortable, and let Grandmama show you exactly how to guard your golden years. Let us talk about my first ironclad rule. I call it dodging the free perk illusion. Every single autumn, my peaceful mailbox completely fills up with glossy advertisements. These massive private insurance companies spend millions of dollars aggressively targeting women of our vintage. They dangle shiny bait right in front of our tired eyes. They offer $0 monthly premiums to catch our attention. They promise completely free dental cleanings. They offer complimentary rides to the local clinic. They even throw in a free plastic gym membership card. They make it look incredibly healthy and proactive. They use very bright colors to hide the brutal truth. They use big smiling faces to manipulate us. Well, I did not live a full century by believing in a free lunch. They do not hand out these incredible perks out of kindness. They are absolutely not generous. They use a cheap piece of foam to lure you straight into a massive administrative cage. I have a dear friend named Martha. Martha signed up for one of these heavily advertised plans last year. She just wanted to get a free yoga mat. She wanted that $0 premium. She thought she was being incredibly smart. She desperately wanted to save a few pennies on her monthly expenses. They sent her a shiny new card in the mail. They welcomed her to their private medical network. Then winter arrived. Martha got a terrible cough. She went to visit her favorite local doctor. The receptionist looked at her shiny new card. She slowly shook her head. Her trusted doctor was not in their narrow network. She had to drive 40 miles to see a completely different doctor. This new doctor did not know her medical history at all. Martha spent hours crying on the telephone. She tried to get a simple chest X-ray approved by a stranger. Your hard-earned independence is absolutely not for sale. You must look closely at these shiny brochures. You must recognize the dangerous trap. You simply throw the glossy paper right into the garbage can. You must reject the shiny bait to protect your daily peace. This brings me directly to rule number 2. You must fiercely guard your thermostat sovereignty. You see, sugar. The trap completely snaps shut. It happens the exact minute you accept their free gifts. You suddenly lose your absolute freedom of medical choice. You might get terribly sick one day. You will quickly realize a terrible truth. You are stuck tightly inside their very narrow medical network. You cannot just call up your trusted, favorite specialist anymore. No, darling. You have to beg a faceless insurance bureaucrat for a prior authorization. You have to wait agonizing weeks for a piece of paper just to get a basic medical scan. They put you on endless telephone holds. They play terrible elevator music. They make you wait in pain. They force you to prove you are actually sick to a clerk. This clerk sits behind a computer screen miles away from your home. They do not know your body. They only care about saving the massive insurance company money. You worked 40 long, grueling years to build your personal safety net. You paid your heavy taxes every single season. You deserve the absolute best care available without asking a stranger for a permission slip. Begging for health care is a complete and utter nightmare. True longevity requires total, uncompromising control over your own environment. It means keeping the physical temperature in your house exactly where you like it. It means choosing exactly who touches your aging body. It means deciding exactly when you see a doctor. I absolutely refuse to kneel down and beg a foreign administrative system for permission to heal myself. You are a magnificent classic car. You know your own engine better than any corporate clerk ever could. You are the chief executive officer of your own health. You must maintain your absolute authority at all costs. Do not trade your beautiful medical freedom for a cheap plastic gym card. Let us move on to rule number 3. I call this dodging the terrible underwriting trap. The private insurance companies hide a very dark secret deep inside their confusing paperwork. They absolutely do not want you to know about this permanent trap. You might sign up for their shiny private plan today. You might enjoy your free gym membership for a few short years. You might use their free dental cleanings and feel very smart. You might think you are saving a massive amount of money. But then your aging body actually gets terribly sick. You suddenly realize their narrow medical network is completely useless. Your favorite specialist is simply not covered by their cheap plan. The local hospital refuses to accept your new plastic card. You desperately want to go back to the original, traditional government system. You want to buy a proper supplemental policy to cover your heavy medical bills. You want your old freedom back. Well, you are in for a very rude awakening. The traditional supplemental insurance plans will punish you severely for leaving them. They will subject you to a ruthless process called medical underwriting. They will look incredibly closely at your new illness. They will examine your aching joints. They will investigate your bad heart or your breathing problems. They will treat your aging body like a terrible financial liability. Then they will flatly reject your application, or they will charge you a massive, completely unaffordable monthly fee. You are permanently trapped in the cheap private system. You cannot escape their terrible administrative maze. I have seen so many older women crying over these exact rejection letters. They traded their permanent medical freedom for a temporary $0 premium. They lost their thermostat sovereignty just to get a free ride to the clinic. I fiercely protect my beautiful brain sparkle by looking far ahead. I say a cold, hard no right at the very beginning. I refuse to spend my golden years fighting with endless insurance bureaucracy. A firm decision today is an iron shield for your future peace. This leads us directly to rule number 4. You must completely trust your own engine. Society loves to treat older women like fragile, broken machines. They desperately want us to constantly doubt our own sharp minds. They want us to believe their flashy television commercials over our own common sense. They try to sell us a ridiculous fantasy life of endless free perks. They mail us glossy brochures with fake pictures of smiling seniors playing golf. They use high-pitched baby voices on the telephone to manipulate our choices. They treat us like clueless toddlers. They think we need constant corporate supervision. They think we are just waiting around for someone to rescue us. But you are a magnificent classic car, sugar. You have over a century of spectacular, hard-earned miles on your personal odometer. You survived massive historical events. You raised entire families. You know exactly how your own engine runs. You know a bad deal the second you see one. You must read the tiny fine print yourself. Do not let a smooth-talking salesman on the telephone dictate your medical future. Do not trade your hard-earned independence for a cheap piece of plastic. Your golden years belong entirely to you. They do not belong to a greedy insurance board. They do not belong to a call center in another state. Your body will eventually need a real tune-up. You do not ask a faceless insurance clerk for a permission slip. You rely on your trusted in-person doctor. You make a proper physical appointment. You drive yourself to the clinic. You sit down in a real examination room. You speak face to face with a real human being. You discuss your health intimately with your personal physician. This person actually knows your long medical history. Keep the corporate digital vultures completely out of your private sanctuary. Trust your own brilliant intuition every single day. Maintain your absolute thermostat sovereignty at all costs. Keep your beautiful brain sparkle, shining incredibly bright against all their manipulative lies. Listen to me carefully, my beautiful darlings. Society desperately wants you to feel fragile. They want you to live in constant fear of your own aging body. They use this terrible fear to sell you cheap plastic cards. They use it to trap you in their massive administrative cages. I completely refuse to let you live that way. You cannot have a happy ending to a miserable journey. And spending your bonus years begging a stranger for health care is absolutely miserable. Your golden years belong entirely to you. You earned every single one of those beautiful wrinkles. You survived over a century of real history. You possess a magnificent, hard-earned intuition. You know exactly what is best for your own life. I do not want you to click any buttons on this screen today. I do not care about internet points at all. I want you to do something real for yourself. Stand up from your chair. Walk over to your favorite window. Look outside at the beautiful trees. Take a deep, glorious breath of fresh air. Feel the solid ground right under your feet. You are still here. You are still completely in charge of your own kingdom. Guard your precious independence every single day. Protect your beautiful brain sparkle. Maintain your absolute thermostat sovereignty against all odds. I will see you next time. Sugar.